Yo, guys, welcome back to episode 2 of The Missing Experience. Here with yours truly, 905 Gonzo,
aka
the
Sweet
soldier
Jesus,
and the soldier of God.
and the soldier of God, given to me by the greatest man alive, Honest bin Riaz.
So, today's episode, guys, is going to be on, COVID-19. How's the summer been? How it's going to go forward? What plans, may have been, altered due to COVID-19, and, just how we've been going through.
And we're also going to talk about, the effects that COVID has had, in Canada, especially like where we're from. Maybe different in some other countries, like, the States or like maybe Europe, Asia, maybe different. But we're going to talk about our situation in Canada.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about how other countries are. I know you had some plans going to South Korea. I had some plans going back home to Pakistan. So let's see how. We'll talk a little bit about that as well.
So let's get it going.
Yeah, bro. So tell me, how's your COVID-19 been like? How you been coping with it? I know it's minimal human interaction. I know it can be quite difficult.
Man, like, I'm the type of person that needs love. I'm the type of person that needs human connection, human interaction, right? And due to this COVID-19, until probably when do we like officially like illegally link?
When do we start legally linking?
Illegally.
Oh, illegally. Oh, like probably like a week right after. we really didn't even stop meeting. We kept meeting.
Oh yeah, like rules are meant to be broken.
Exactly, rules were literally made to be broken. I live by that.
But yeah, like the first month or so, like when COVID-19 actually like hit Canada, when was that, like mid-March.
I just usually go with March 15, just because
I think it's March 16th. For me, it was March 16th.
Yeah, March 15, 16.
Okay, yeah. So when COVID hit Canada, like officially hit Canada, when quarantine began, I think it was March 16th. So and I remember it wasn't like it didn't feel real, like it just didn't.
It felt really
being
weird.
In quarantine felt really weird, and just like I wanted to go outside, but knowing I couldn't, it's just like it's very
different, yeah. Because I know some people don't like going out, right? But they have the option of going out. But knowing you're not allowed to go just feels way different.
And like just like and taking in like the fact that like all your restaurants are closed, all your like gyms are closed.
Bro, the barber, bro, I need a haircut.
The barber, y'all.
Oh man, me and Joseph, we've been giving ourselves like fades.
That's a lie. You never give yourself a fade.
I just love to give myself, but I'm too scared that I'm gonna mess it up.
Barbers are closed. Climbers, CR, dude.
Bro, climbers rock. I'm actually really So me and Joseph, we go rock climbing. It's like a new hobby we started in like January, February.
I would say in the New Year's, yeah.
In the New Year, we started really going. So our friend John, Juicebox John, he got us, and Lucas as well.
I feel like every time we always shout out Juicebox John, though.
Yeah, Juicebox John. Yeah, but follow him on Instagram, and Lucas Rebo as well. So they got us into rock climbing, and we got into our stride really quick. I think within a month or two, we started from V negatives to V3, I think, and we were attempting V4s, but we hadn't
within 2-3 times of going.
Yeah.
Like. And like I live in Oakville, so it's like CR's like it's in Burlington.
It's a little far, yeah.
And it's pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
So like I couldn't come as often as him, but nonetheless,
it's just a whole different sport. Like you need like a whole different like agility. Your athleticism just has to be a little different. You need to have really good finger strength, and your overall upper body strength has to be really good.
Exactly, you really need to have that finger strength.
Yeah, that
finger strength. Extraterrestrial finger strength.
But
and that's one thing I lacked. And like. I'm not gonna lie, dude. No word of a lie. I have a big ego, like.
Yeah.
I have a big ego, and when I first came to CR with you and Lucas and John, I thought I was the top dog. I thought I was the alpha, cause like I'm a gym dude, like I like to go to the gym. It's just a big hobby of mine, and like when I first went there, I'm like, dude, this is baby food. Whatever these guys are doing, I'm just gonna like.
You'll one up us.
I'm gonna one up them easily. And dude, like I've never been proved wrong, and I've never been humbled that bad, bro. Like I remember like the first time going, like, dude, after a couple runs on like V0s or something, dude, my fingers were
the calluses started ripping.
I thought my calluses were bad, dude. Like this was on a whole new level. I think I ripped a callus on my first day too, but yeah, like CR's closed also. Restaurants are closed, gyms are closed. The malls are closed.
The malls, they're slowly starting to open. The outlet malls that have like entrances from the outside of the store. You're allowed to go there.
And like I just want to talk about that for a second. Like going to the mall was just so or going to like an outlet at least. It just felt very like therapeutic. Just like seeing
Going to
people.
the Niagara Falls one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, outlet and Niagara.
Just seeing people just felt so therapeutic, and just it felt really nice to see people. And like you really like I took seeing people for granted. I really took things for granted, and like through this quarantine I just learned so much about, you know, like the little things you have to be grateful about, thankful about. And you know, like I didn't know until you know it was gone. And you know, as much as, you know, quarantine sucked for me, cuz you know, like all of the things that I like to do was just, you know, like not there anymore. As much as it sucked, like I just learned so many things, and I got to better myself in different aspects of life that I couldn't before. And you know, honestly, I feel like it was a blessing in disguise. And like I don't want to say that like COVID was a blessing in disguise, because you know there are people like dropping left and right. Like it's a serious like thing. But you know, aside from that, like this opportunity like to stay in and to stick to a regular the same schedule every day, sticking to that same schedule every day, it allowed me to, you know, like develop myself in a way that I've never done before. And like, you know, I really like, you know, like appreciate it almost.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how was your experience like?
For me, honestly, like in the beginning, it was like at first I took it a little bit seriously. I was like, you know, you gotta be careful. You know, there are people getting sick, but now it's like, so for me, it's like I saw a meme where it was like, back then there was like this much corona, but this much stress about corona. But now it's the opposite. Now there's this much corona and there's like this much stress. Like now I went to Home Depot the other day, and I didn't see one worker wearing a mask.
Are you serious, dude?
I'm serious. And like I feel like people are just trying to get used to the fact. And like there's a bunch of these conspiracy theories that are going out about how like when the vaccine comes out, there's gonna be microchips. Like I'm not gonna lie, you have to admit, dude, this coronavirus thing it's definitely different. It's weird, because if you think about it,
it's a little like
there's something strange about it.
Something strange
now
about
if you think about it, some previous epidemics, we haven't had a pandemic in the past 100 years. But
what was the last pandemic? Spanish flu?
1920.
Spanish
It
flu?
was Spanish flu, I believe, yeah. And so some epidemics we had that were not too not too old ago was MERS, SARS, H1N1.
Yeah.
Right? So I believe SARS came from Hong Kong. MERS came from the Middle East. It was a Middle Eastern respiratory syndrome. And I believe H1N1 was, I don't know where that one came from.
Oh, actually, before I interrupt you, before I let you go on, MERS was actually MERS was a couple years ago, I think, like 2015 maybe.
Yeah, it was not too old. Yeah, it's not.
It wasn't too long ago, and that was hot in Korea.
Really?
That was hot.
I never really heard about MERS until like coronavirus. Then when I was like, oh, MERS is a thing too.
I knew about MERS because I did a science project on it
okay.
Probably in like grade 10 maybe. Yeah, and like it was just, I remember being like really like dominant in like Korea.
Oh, okay.
So I had to like wear a mask and stuff.
Oh, so you did go to Korea during that time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that wasn't a pandemic.
That was an epidemic.
Like
it was a very isolated situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like all these viruses, right? Like SARS, MERS, H1N1. The funny thing is that all these, like let's say SARS, right? I believe SARS came in 2004. So it's been 15 years. In 15 years, bro, there's still no vaccine. There's nothing that can really protect you from this virus. So technically, if you go out, you can hypothetically still catch SARS. So, and the funny thing is there's no vaccine yet. So I'm thinking like the coronavirus, it's much more serious, of course, but it has a lower mortality rate. I believe the mortality rate is around 3.7%.
Less than 5%.
Less than 5%, and SARS was around like 6 or 7. Same with MERS, it's like 8 or 9%.
Oh, you forgot Ebola.
And Ebola's at like 50%.
That's insane.
That's an insane amount of mortality. That means if 100 people got it, 50 will die. So that's 1 out of 2. So I'm thinking like the coronavirus, it's way less dangerous. We definitely know that. But like, what makes them think they're gonna get a vaccine so quick?
And if they couldn't, take this in. If they couldn't find out a vaccine for SARS 15 years ago,
yeah,
how are they already working on a vaccine? I know it's not confirmed that it worked.
Yeah.
But like you had 15 years to find a vaccine, but you still hadn't found it.
Exactly. It's just.
But months later, less than half a year later, somehow you found it.
Literally like 2-3 months, and these guys are like, oh, the vaccine's gonna come in just a couple months.
That's hopefully
within the year. And I was like, there's definitely something wrong here.
I'm not the type of person to like believe in like conspiracy theories. Like, yeah, it's like fun to listen to them, but like, this is a little fishy, dude.
It's a little fishy. There's definitely something different. And then some people were like, the whole situation with the vaccine thing is that people were like, there's gonna be like a chip inside of it. and people are saying that's why the 5G towers are also coming. Like the 5G towers. So one thing about 5G towers is that every G, like 1G, 2G, gave us some kind of boost in technology. So 1G allowed us to call, 2G allowed us to text, 3G allowed us to send pictures, 4G allowed us to I don't really remember what 4G allowed us, and 5G is gonna allow us to like autonomous cars. It's much more bigger, but a lot of people say that 5G is also gonna link to the vaccines microchips. So like let's say like insurance wise, health insurance. Let's say you're a smoker. Your insurance might be more expensive because they can track your microchip saying, oh, this guy's a smoker, we're gonna give him a higher health insurance. So a lot of people are like, this whole coronavirus vaccine thing is leading up to something big. Like it's kind of like a reset. Like this is a way for the government to kind of get their hands onto us.
Yeah, you know what? Like it sounds legit.
Like these are conspiracy theories, but I wouldn't say they're far fetched.
I would not say they're far-fetched.
I wouldn't say they're far fetched. Like
It's
they're a
definitely
reach.
possible.
They're a reach, but it's definitely possible. Like I wouldn't be surprised if a year from now, 2 years from now, they're like, oh, we have a vaccine up, but there's a microchip inside of it, and here we'll be laughing, saying, that's
We predicted it first.
we
right
predicted
here.
the future.
Right here in the medium. Oh my God, that's
The-
how you know we've been watching too much Medium Rare. Right here on the Missing Experience
Missing
podcast.
yeah.
You said it first.
Exactly. So, but yeah, it's definitely been tough. Like I told Joseph this, where I wake up and the only thing I look forward to is going back to sleep so I can wake up again, because I want time to pass. Because I know this is like, it's kind of a waiting game now. You can't really do anything. It's not like you can work at home, open your own lab, and try to find a vaccine yourself, right? All you can do is do your part, stay at home, and try to stay away from as many people. Like now, Ontario has this new rule where you're allowed to you're allowed to make a bubble of 10 people. So my
Like the
bubble
people
is
that you know.
people that you know of, right? So my bubble is pretty much just my family and Joseph. I don't really meet with anyone else.
Exactly, me too.
So that's why we're allowed to meet up. We handshake. That's okay. But we're still careful. I go to his house. I wash my hands. We put on hand sanitizer. He comes to my house. He washes his hands. We still take precautions.
We take precaution, but like, I know for a fact that you wouldn't do anything to like endanger my family, and I hope that you also believe the same thing like with me. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't
of
do
course.
anything to like
If you were sick, you would let me know. Be like, I'm sick.
of
If I was
course.
sick, I would say, Joseph, I'm sick. Give me some time. We'll see.
bro, that'd just be like morally wrong. Like
Exactly. That's wrong. That's wrong.
if I was okay, deadass, like if I was feeling sick and I said, hey yo, like I'm feeling good, let's hang out in the pool today, I would not be able to live with that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Exactly.
I would not be able to live with
Because
that.
imagine going to your friend's house, knowing that you're sick, right? Let's say you find out you have COVID, and now they're sick. Now
And I give it to you
and
your little siblings.
and knowing that we're the only ones in our bubble, if you get sick, you're probably gonna think it's from me because you're the only one outside your family that you meet. So when you find that, it ruins our friendship. So the thing is, be honest right from the start and just act accordingly. Because in your pursuit of trying to meet up with your friend, you might lose that friendship, right, over
Exactly.
something really dumb. So just
Exactly.
be careful, guys. Just if you think you're sick, don't go out, and just make sure you stay inside your bubble. Like, and even though you do meet with people, still try to keep your hands clean and try to keep your physical contact to a minimum.
And like what also like sucks about this is that like some of the cases like have been proved to be like asymptomatic. Like
Yeah.
like maybe like like maybe people could have corona, but
Mhm.
like you just don't you don't have like the symptoms for it. Maybe like you're not getting fever, you're not getting the coughs, but like you could have, that's what makes this virus like so like dangerous, like so like, contagious.
I also heard Doug Ford was saying that people under the age of 20, there's very, very few cases of people under the age of 20 having COVID and actually like getting sick. Like even if they did get it, they stayed at home 2 weeks and they were okay within 2 weeks. Like they just took some some small medicine and they were okay. So Doug Ford said so the Premier of Ontario, he said that since people under the age of 20, like they're barely getting sick, they might actually open schools in September too. Like there's a relatively good chance that schools might open now.
You know what? Let's actually talk about that. Okay, so first of all, as you guys know, like we're both in uni, so uni's canceled.
Uni's canceled because universities don't depend on like the provincial government on making decisions. Like if the provincial government says school's canceled, that doesn't necessarily apply to unis. Unis get their own say.
But could they? Okay, before we move on, could they like potentially like make it?
I don't think they can open because universities, it's international. Like we have international students. There's people that went back home.
Oh,
right?
yes.
So they can't just magically say, oh, school's open, because then you're gonna have a bunch of international students from all over the world panicking, trying to find they're gonna have to find a lease again. They're gonna have to pay tuition again. They're gonna have to travel back to Canada. Do they even want to come to Canada?
No, I honestly, Honestly, I don't think uni.
Because school, you're just in that one area. It's not like someone from, Toronto's coming to Oakville.
Exactly. It's a very local.
It's very local, right? So I feel like that's a different scenario.
So honestly, do you think that schools could open in September if the cases like?
So for elementary and high school, it's definitely a chance. Because I think if you go back 2 months in Canada or in Ontario, we were having all over Canada a little over 1,000 cases. Now we're approaching like the low 300s. So we've made a lot of progress. So we're what, in mid-June right now? We still have July, August, so that's 2.5 months.
2.5 months.
So 2.5 months, we could easily bring this number down to below 100. And I wouldn't be surprised if we even brought it down to like double digits. So I feel like there is a chance, but I feel like the safest option is to just, for all the, like, the IT people at the schools, should work on just making school online. I think they should just be on the safe side and just cancel school till January.
And honestly, like, if I was a parent, like, I don't have kids, but if I was a parent, even if schools are open, I probably want to send my kids. Dude.
Yeah, you don't want to send your kid anywhere during this time, right? Like,
through a global pandemic, dude.
Exactly.
Like, it's not like sending your kids through like a snowstorm, like a minor snowstorm.
Exactly.
Like, like, that's a little bit different, But a pandemic, dude, like, where your family's health, like, it lies on your hands, dude. If you do something wrong, you get your whole family sick. Maybe let's say they're asymptomatic and they go out and meet some other friends. They're sick. That's how it
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
grows and
And
grows.
like, I feel like all of a sudden everyone would be at risk because kids are going out, they're playing, they're coming back, and they could easily spread.
Honestly, like, I know you were talking about how like we could potentially see case dropping, over like the couple period of months, but with like with this quarantine thing like getting like looser and looser by the day. Like, people just not care anymore. Like,
People are definitely starting to care less. That's definitely true. Like, I know at first, like, people were always wearing masks. There were always hand sanitizer. People would complain if you got too close to them. Like, there was this one time I went to, like, Sobeys, and there was, like, a line in front of me. And I had to get to the other side of that line. So I didn't want to go all the way around. So there was a gap. So I just made sure, like, I kept my composure, kept myself really compact, and I just walked like in between two people. And clearly I didn't have a 6 feet distance in between both of them. It was probably like 2 feet max. And the guy on my left was like some old guy, and all like, I'm walking by and this is all you hear: "You're too close to me." And I was like, I respect that I have to give you distance, but it's not like I coughed on you. I'm just quickly walking by you, right? And I even like didn't breathe. I held my breath. So, but like that was like time like a month and a half ago. Now like people are bumping into like there's like these arrows in like aisles where it says only go one way, and people are going the other way now.
I know. It's just
so
like,
it's just people aren't caring as much now.
Cause like the weather's getting warmer. Like, this is summer now.
Exactly,
It's
summer now.
summer.
I feel like if it was winter, people would be forced to stay inside because no one wants to go out in the cold.
But
Right?
it's like summer. Like,
It's a summer. People want to
hot
have
girl
pool
summer,
parties.
hot boy summer. People are
Exactly.
throwing pool parties. Like, Nelk, like, they're going to Florida. Like, they don't give
They-
single.
Like they don't give a damn.
They don't give a damn. Like, they're going on like partying with like probably like hundreds of people in like houses and stuff. Like, they just don't. They don't care.
I mean, like they're in the states. The states is way different. Like,
States. Like,
not gonna lie, they
not gonna lie.
they caught a fat
Yeah,
by catching
yo.
over 1 million cases. These guys say, "Oh, we're the best country in the world. We do this, we do that." Guys, before you say you're the best country, look inside of your own country. You guys have so many issues. Like, I don't want to get political. I don't want to put myself into hot water. But you guys have so many internal problems that it's actually insane. You guys have, I think they're approaching almost 2 million cases now. They're at 1.7.
Yo, are you kidding me, dude?
Like, how do you manage to get 1.7 million cases? Like, you're a country of what, 300 million people? China has over 1 billion people, and they didn't even go over 100K.
Let's talk about this too. Korea, where I'm from. Dude, that was like a hotspot. That was top 3. When COVID first hit like Wuhan, China, and like it kind of started spreading to like like Europe, like Italy and like some other Asian
Spain
countries.
and all those countries.
Yeah. Korea was top 3. I think it was number 2, right behind Wuhan, or maybe right behind Italy or something.
I think it was top 3. I think it was China, Italy, South Korea.
There's definitely it was in the top 3. I don't know the exact rankings, but it was in the top 3. But they went from top 3 to what, like probably one of
They're
the most
literally,
safest.
they're probably not even on the list anymore. Like,
Probably one of the most safest places to
countries
be
now.
on earth right now.
Korea is really good in terms of tech. Like, I know Korea has different rules, so I know they're allowed to track their citizens 24/7, and I feel like I would give it my privacy for a certain amount of time. Like, living in Canada, I would give it for a certain amount of time to bring cases down, and then once cases they're back to normal, you give our privacy back. But South Korea, they controlled it really well. They started off with like 800 cases. They never hit 1,000 cases a day, and now they went down to like single digits, like 2-3 cases a day. And I believe now they have like a tiny second wave going where they have 30ish cases a day. But overall, they've held it. They've kept their situation.
They're very professional, and like compared to countries like Canada, dude, you guys are you guys are like loafing.
They're literally loafing. Yeah, like I keep telling.
Doug Ford literally just started tracking people now, 3 months later.
Exactly, and he's like, they want to do regional testing. Like, you guys are months behind. Like,
why couldn't you do that 3 months before?
Like Wuhan, China has a population of 11 million people. That's 1/3 of Canada, and Wuhan, China made the commitment of testing every single resident in the area. And I believe within a month, not a month, I would say 2-3 months, they tested 6.5 million people in Wuhan, and everyone that was okay, they everyone that was not okay, they isolated them and told them they were under strict quarantine rules. And Wuhan, like, they're pretty much clean now. They have no more issues, and I believe they're almost done testing all 11 million people. Like Canada, people walk in, you get tested, you don't have COVID, you have COVID. Like, it's not gonna work like that. You have to have a proper approach. You go city by city, let's say you go Oakville, Burlington, Milton, you've opened up a region now. Now everyone in that area is allowed to meet up. If you have people that do have COVID, move them to a separate area, or maybe keep them in their home. Have people that, check up on them. But if you're just gonna, loaf and just hope for things to go down, tell people to stay inside, you're gonna get rebels who want to go out,
But the thing is with that, like, let's just say like we're sticking to like that regional opening like tactic, right? And we're telling, like, the government's telling people with COVID to, like, stay quarantined in their homes. If it was me, I would do it. I would do it. But unfortunately, this world isn't full of nice people, like nice, like morally correct people who make decisions like that. There are people who just like who don't care, like, even if they have COVID. I remember this lady in I think China. She caught COVID. I can't remember if it was he or if it was a guy or a girl, but they caught COVID. They licked their hands, and this person lived in an apartment complex. Started pushing all the elevator buttons, and I'm pretty sure she went to jail.
Yeah, because I think she had like this mentality of like, if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna take others down with me.
Like, there's some sick people like that.
There's exactly some people just.
I don't know what has to be like wrong in your head, like, for you to make decisions like that, but like, and there's also another person in China. This lady, she literally bought the entire toilet paper section at a grocery store so other people couldn't buy it.
That's another issue. Like, I don't understand why people had the need. So I understand the hand sanitizer section of this, but why are you hoarding toilet paper?
Toilet paper.
Like, are you all of a sudden, are you gonna have to go to the washroom way more often? Like what happened? Like, did your bladder all of a sudden like give out? Like,
yo, I still don't know the answer to the question.
Like I have huge props for companies like Loblaws, Metro, like all these grocery stores for keeping the supply chain system going. Like logistics is tough, and when you have a bunch of crazy people just hoarding stuff, and like people start selling it, like,
that's
honestly
insane,
like,
dude.
Whoever hoarded stuff and like Amazon banned them from selling stuff, like, they deserved it. Like, you're gonna use people's fears to your own advantage. Like, you're not a good person.
And yo, I don't wish this upon anybody, but I hope they burn in the deepest pit of hell, dude.
Exactly.
Like, yo, you're a sick fuck. I'm gonna swear, because this is like, sometimes, like, I just feel like swearing is just necessary to really like deliver,
to emphasize
my point. Honestly, like, if you hoarded stuff, or if you ever like grabbed a large amount of supplies, like emergency supplies, and sold it for your own benefits, you're a fucking bitch.
I feel like you shouldn't hoard stuff for like months. I feel like, if anything, right, like, sure, things might start selling out because people, they want to stay in as long as possible. So it's okay if you're not don't hoard. But I'd say if you buy like a week's worth of material, maybe buy 2 weeks worth of material or 3 weeks worth of material. But if you're gonna start hoarding months worth of material, like, your stuff's gonna start going bad at one point, and then it's gonna go to waste.
Like, yo, this lady bought the entire toilet paper section at a grocery store, so other people couldn't buy it. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's not the move.
Like, it's
but
disgusting.
Yeah, like the entire summer, I would say, is probably gonna go to waste. Like, I had tons of plans. You have plans of going to South Korea. I had plans going to Pakistan. It kind of went south. So for like my Pakistan plan, so I believe it was like May, and I was really hoping that by June, things will get better. So Pakistan right now, they're not in the best situation. They're catching almost 5,000-6,000 cases a day, right? So compared to Canada, we're only catching like 300 cases. So we're still much better. But when we booked tickets, they were only getting like a couple hundred cases, and it was very isolated. So we bought tickets on Turkish Airlines and stuff like that. But now, like Turkish Airlines, they're not flying to Canada yet. They're not. Of course, they're not gonna fly to Pakistan yet. So we're just stuck here. And I just, honestly, like, I feel like I just want to like go out, meet up with friends and like, we go to a movie theater, watch a movie, go out, grab some food.
Oh my
like,
god. Literally, just please, if you're Doug Ford, if you're listening, or Justin Trudeau, whoever, please open up the gyms, yo.
Yeah, just open up the gyms. Like,
open up
like
the
I'm
gyms,
losing my
please,
games. Like,
dude.
all we can really do is just do cardio and like work out with our 20-pound dumbbells with like 500 reps on each. Oh my god.
Honestly, I mean, like it sucks.
The situation's bad, but
there are people who have it worse, like there's this I saw this post on Six Buzz a couple months ago. This Brampton family with like 2 girls. They lost both their parents, I think, due to COVID. That is insane.
Yeah,
yo.
as much as people are being careless and as much as people want to deny that this is a hoax, this is all like a planned scheme, like you have to admit people are still getting sick, they're still dying. But to be honest, my own personal opinion, I definitely feel it's definitely fishy, bro. It's definitely, don't get me wrong, like
fishy,
think
dude.
about this.
Yo, what about the protests? Let's talk about the
protesting, the BLM protest.
BLM, yeah. We're not gonna get into like the whole our like opinions on BLM because obviously we support BLM, both of us, but like the protests were about a little more than 2 weeks ago, and I remember the WHO, they stated that the incubation period for if you have COVID or not, if you have it or not, is approximately 1 to 2 weeks, and it's been that 2 weeks mark. But why haven't the cases gone up significantly?
Exactly. It should have gone up by at least, a couple hundred.
Couple thousand.
Even maybe a couple thousand, yeah, like in the States or something.
Dude, there were like how many people do you think were at protests? At least couple,
10,000. Definitely thousands of people. In Toronto, maybe a couple hundred, maybe even 1,000. It just, I don't know. And
why
if you think about
the cases gone up?
Exactly.
That's a little sketchy.
Even if you think about it, so here's what I like to think of. So we're you would say we're just average people, right? It's not like we know super secret things, right? Now tell me this: why is there no, famous person or some billionaire that's been affected, right? Like, I'm talking.
Tom Hanks.
I'm talking specifically billionaires, though.
Billionaires? Oh.
Tell me one billionaire that got sick. None, because these guys have power. People like Bill Gates, right? He's heavily invested in like the WHO. These guys, he does a lot of philanthropy, but he also talks a lot about vaccines. Jeff Bezos, right? This guy runs a massive company of Amazon. He's still not sick. I feel like they make actors sick. Like, tell me, okay, no actor has died yet, as far as I know.
As far as I know, I don't think
no actor has died. Yeah. And I know the Prime Minister of the UK also got sick. I feel like they only make a handful of people sick, only to make people feel like it's happening to everyone.
Fear mongering.
Yeah, they want to keep it they want to keep a balance. Because if it's only regular people getting sick, there's no actor getting sick, there's no billionaire getting sick, there's no politician getting sick, then people would start being
people take it seriously.
Then people would be like, yo, there's something off. But I feel like there's this very balance, but there's still some kind of unbalance here where all the average people are getting sick and, billionaires, all these, famous people, they're not really getting sick. And even if they do get sick, they get okay pretty quick.
But yeah, it just seems a little fishy. Like protests, especially in the U.S., with like 10,000 people, and like, okay, maybe like a couple of them has masks, but like when you see the videos online, a lot of the people were not wearing masks. They were not social distancing.
Oh, maybe like
not keeping
15-20% of them were wearing masks.
Barely any. But why haven't the cases gone up significantly? And why haven't the cases haven't gone up significantly in Canada?
Exactly.
Why? That seems a little sketchy to me. That seems so weird, yo. But like, it is what it is. We're going down and down a little bit. We are seeing a little bit of progress.
We're just trying to make the best of the situation we're currently in right now.
Exactly. But like, on one side you can look at the glass as half empty or half full. So you can be like, hey, my summer's over, and you just dwell on it until this ends. But you could look at it from a more optimistic point of view. You can be like, yo, as much as it sucks, like, we'll still meet up with our close friends, and we'll still go out, do what we can, but not dwell. Like, if you're gonna dwell, and if you're gonna hide in your closet, hide in your house, so terrified of this virus, you're losing to him, man.
Yeah, you're losing to the situation. Yeah, you have to make the best of the situation.
Like, I always try to make the best of every situation that I'm in, whether it's good or bad. And as much as it sucks, I'm trying to make the best of it. improve on the things that I couldn't do before, like, you know, learn new hobbies. Like I recently started getting to piano again after like not playing that for.
We got this podcast started during the peak.
Got this podcast started. You know, we're being very productive.
Yeah. Definitely trying to keep ourselves busy, because I feel like if you don't keep yourself busy, you might lose yourself. Like,
exactly.
like don't get me wrong. Like, sure, we do keep ourselves busy, but then there's times where, you know, it'll be late at night, we'll snap each other, we'll be like, yo, we can't go to sleep, or like, you know, one of us will be crying. We're like, yo, I'm losing myself. Like, I'm going mentally insane. Like, this COVID sucks. You know, can't believe some dumb guy ate a bat, and now the entire world is like under quarantine. Like, it's just.
Oh my god.
Like
under panic.
Exactly. Like, I understand. You know, every culture has its own delicacy, but like a bat with its skin on. Like, come on. Like, I don't think under any scenario are you supposed to eat the skin of an animal.
Okay, let's just go back a little bit. For me, I'm a person that loves culture. I'm a person that respects your culture.
Yeah, you have to respect every culture.
I respect every culture, you know, like whether it's the Asian culture, Middle Eastern culture,
European
culture. I respect everything. I try everything, and I just show respect to it, you know. Like, for example, like your culture, like, you know, like when I FaceTime you, I go like Assalamu alaikum, you know, like.
Yeah, and then I'll try to say annyeonghaseyo.
Exactly. Like we both respect each other's cultures, but you know, like, I don't know if it's a culture thing eating bat.
Maybe, I don't know.
But I don't know what it is, but you know, like, I love Chinese people.
Like, don't get me wrong,
Chinese
food is good.
Chinese food is bomb.
Like there'll be times where
it's bomb.
It's so good. Like, there'll be times where me and my family will be like, you know, what do you want to eat? And we'll all be like, we want Chinese food.
Exactly, like the dim sum, the wonton soup, the everything. It's just Chinese food is so yummy.
It's good, but some things are definitely questionable.
Some things are a little bit questionable, but you know, like, what can we do?
Yeah, what can you do? You still gotta respect it, but you know, I guess even if you want to eat bats, right? Even if you want to eat bats, I feel like you have to sterilize or you have to clean it somehow. Like don't get me wrong. Like, if you eat a raw cow or a raw goat, you're gonna get sick probably in some way, shape, or form, right? Like, if you're gonna eat it with the skin, if you're gonna eat its eyeballs, you know, uncooked and just like boiled, like, it's gonna be probably not a good idea. So, but yeah, it's just so weird that, you know, a couple people decided to eat a bat, they got sick.
Now the whole world is.
And now the whole world is just under panic.
And you know, because of this dude across the world who just decided to eat a bat, can't go to the gym.
Someone was trying to become Batman.
Straight up, yo, straight up. I can't go to the gym. I can't meet up with all my friends anymore. Can't go to malls. You know, like, all our plans are ruined, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. We had some really big. We had plans of going to Tobermory as well.
Tobermory. Shout out to Nahida who flopped.
Nahida,
I know you're watching this.
Nahida, I know you're watching this.
I know you're watching this right now.
You keep flopping.
You flopped. Again.
Yeah. Again, she flopped. She literally flopped, what, like 2-3 days ago?
Again, because of
Again. Oh my. We were literally supposed to go Saturday.
Exactly.
Like 2 days from now. Yeah.
But you know, shout out to you, flip flop queen.
The flop queen.
Flop queen. Yo, we should name her that. Yo, still flop queen. But yeah, like, you know, we had plans of going to Tobermory. We had plans of. I was gonna go to Korea because, you know, I go there to visit my family. My dad's back home, and this is gonna be my first year where I don't get to see my dad.
I think this is the first time you haven't gone in like almost 10 years, right?
10 years.
10 years. You've gone. So you haven't spent a summer here ever.
I've never spent a summer.
This is your first full summer in Canada.
This is my first full summer in Canada in 10 years.
How's it so far? Is it good?
It's good, bro. But it's a little cold, you know, like.
It's definitely cold.
It's a little cold.
Yeah, it's like, I think the average temperature is like 20 degrees, 22, 23.
In like the low 20s, you know?
Yeah, I'd rather go to like Dubai or Pakistan where it's like 35, 40
degrees.
Okay,
Dubai's a little bit too much for me.
Dubai peaks at like 50 in the summer.
A little bit too much for me, but you know, like Korea.
I love the heat.
Like high 30s. High 30s is good, you know? Like
high 30s is good. 32 is the sweet spot.
Oh, like the
28 to 32. That's a good one.
But like 15, I'm good.
Bro, 50. Oh my god.
That's
like in Dubai, there's this. Like I might be wrong, but when I went in the summer 2 years ago, like I would say, oh, I want to go here, I want to go there, and my family would be like, yo, we're not going anywhere until it's like 6 p.m. because it's way too hot to go outside. Like, it's very common to go outside, get dehydrated, and get heat stroke. It's very common.
That's insane.
So you have to be careful when you're in that kind of heat.
Yo, like. Oh. And remember last week we're gonna reveal the location that we're going to.
Oh yeah, we'll reveal the location now. Oh, you want to reveal the location or no?
It's your time to shine, baby. You
Drum
reveal
roll.
It. Drum roll.
So next summer we're gonna go to Dubai, 2021.
Abu Dhabi
and Dubai. We're gonna have we'll probably make it probably 10-day trip because I feel like 10 days should be good enough. Make it 10. And we'll make sure to vlog in just.
Guys, like, Yo, just stay tuned for the vlogs, because vlogs in Dubai are about to be lit.
Yeah, you guys can get some sneak peeks by just searching up Dubai vlogs on YouTube, and you guys
Exactly.
can see for yourself how life there is.
Exactly. Like, we're gonna be living lavish. You know, it's gonna be insane. And you know, like we talked about in the last episode, but our first trip together was Miami, Florida, and you know, in the U.S. But now we're gonna travel halfway across the planet and freaking go to Dubai. That's gonna be so fun.
It'll be fun.
It's gonna be
We gotta make
crazy.
sure it's properly planned.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. But you know, anything else we wanna talk about?
I think that's it. Yeah. So we'll just wrap it up. So, but yeah, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed episode 2. Be sure to tune in for episode 3 as well next week.
If I had $1 for every time you said I'd be.
This guy's roasting me right now. But yeah, okay. I'm not even saying because I'm thinking it's just like it's a habit.
Unconscious.
It's a habit. Like I'm subconsciously saying
I
it.
know.
Like if someone could even be like, "How are you feeling?" I'll be like, I'm feeling good."
Exactly. Like, you don't realize you're saying
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't
It's
feel
this
it.
thing, you know. So again, like,
Right? So, but yeah, so tune in for episode 3, guys, next week, and make sure you stay inside, stay safe. Try to keep your hands clean. Try to keep a physical distance. Try to make the best of your summer as you can. We're here. We'll try to give you the experience that you're missing out on.
exactly.
Hence the name, the missing experience.
Exactly.
So we talk about a little bit of politics, a little bit about we'll talk about some sports. We'll keep it general. Try to aim towards the general audience.
Every week's gonna be something new, something more fun, something exciting,
And we'll try to
something that
keep
you're
the
missing in.
We'll try to keep the discussions current so people can
Exactly.
relate.
Exactly, man. So hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to follow my socials in the description below. I95Gonzo on Instagram and 95Gonzo on TikTok. We're gonna be recording some sick TikToks today. Yeah, go for it, my man.
And yeah, follow me down as well, anasriaz.7 on Instagram. Same thing on Instagram, anasriaz.7 on TikTok. Oh, my bad. But yeah.
But yeah, everybody, we will see you guys in the next episode of the Missing
Missing
Experience.